You know what's interesting about highly intelligent people? They rarely look the way we expect them to. Most of us imagine someone with a very high IQ as obviously brilliant, someone who talks a lot, solves complex problems out loud, or constantly shows how much they know. But psychology suggests something very different. In many cases, people with extremely high intelligence display subtle behavioral patterns that don't immediately look like intelligence at all. Because real intelligence is not just about what you know, it's about how your brain processes the world. And that processing often shows up through small, everyday habits that most people overlook. One of the most common habits is spending a lot of time alone. Highly intelligent people are usually comfortable with solitude, not because they dislike others, but because their minds are constantly active. Being alone gives them the space to think, reflect, and process ideas without distraction. The part of the brain responsible for planning and complex thinking works best in quiet environments. In fact, research has shown that highly intelligent individuals often feel less satisfied with frequent social interaction, simply because their brain prefers deeper thinking over constant stimulation. Another strong pattern is constant curiosity. People with high IQs don't just ask big philosophical questions. They question everything around them. Why do people behave this way? Why does a system work the way it does? Their brain is naturally wired to search for patterns and explanations. Curiosity becomes automatic, not something they force, but something that drives how they experience the world every day. You may also notice that they talk to themselves. While this might seem unusual, psychology refers to this as self-directed speech. It's actually a powerful cognitive tool. Talking to yourself helps organize thoughts, improve focus, and strengthen memory. It allows the brain to process information more clearly. So when someone is quietly narrating their thinking, it's often a sign of an active and structured mind, rather than something strange. Another important habit is being comfortable saying, "I don't know." Highly intelligent people don't feel the need to pretend they understand everything. In fact, they are usually more aware of how much they don't know. This is connected to a psychological concept, where people with less knowledge tend to overestimate their understanding, while those with higher intelligence recognize complexity. Instead of rushing to conclusions, they stay open to learning. At the same time, their minds rarely turn off. This leads to overthinking, even about small things. The same mental processes that allow them to solve complex problems also cause them to analyze conversations, decisions, and possibilities in great detail. From the outside, this can look like hesitation or indecision, but internally, it's the brain exploring multiple scenarios at once, trying to understand every possible outcome. Interestingly, many highly intelligent people also have a strong sense of humor. Humor is not simple. It requires the brain to recognize patterns, break expectations, and connect ideas that don't normally fit together. This kind of thinking is deeply cognitive. Studies have shown a connection between higher intelligence and more advanced humor, which means that being funny is often a hidden sign of a highly active mind. Another key trait is the ability to change their mind. Highly intelligent individuals don't see their beliefs as fixed. Instead, they treat them as flexible models that can be updated when new information appears. This ability, known as cognitive flexibility, is one of the strongest indicators of advanced thinking. They are not attached to being right, they are focused on understanding what is true. If you think about it, many of these behaviors are often misunderstood. Someone who spends a lot of time alone might be seen as antisocial. Someone who asks too many questions might seem skeptical. Someone who changes their opinion might look uncertain. But in reality, these are often signs of deeper thinking and more complex mental processing. Another interesting pattern is that many highly intelligent people feel more mentally active at night. When everything becomes quiet and distractions disappear, their mind becomes sharper. Some research suggests that people with higher cognitive flexibility adapt more easily to non-traditional patterns, including staying awake later and thinking more clearly during those hours. You'll also notice that they tend to observe more than they speak. Instead of reacting immediately in conversations, they watch, listen, and analyze first. They pay attention to tone, behavior, and emotional cues before responding. This reflects strong pattern recognition, especially in social situations. They are not silent because they have nothing to say, but because they are processing more than most people realize.
Finally, one of the most defining habits is a constant search for meaning. Highly intelligent people often think deeply about life, behavior, and human nature. This doesn't always appear in dramatic ways. Sometimes it's just a quiet question in the background, trying to understand why people think, act, and feel the way they do. Their mind naturally looks for deeper explanations behind everyday experiences. And maybe that's the most important thing to understand about intelligence. It's not just about solving problems or knowing facts. At its core, intelligence is about curiosity. It's about a mind that keeps exploring, questioning, and trying to make sense of the world. A mind that doesn't settle for simple answers, but continues searching for deeper understanding.
If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more psychology content that helps you understand how your mind really works and the patterns most people never notice.